Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. Okay, let's go check out your Tennessee. Tennessee 086322250. I told you 250 would continue to keep falling. Texas dropped at 812. I told y'all it was going to fall. Ohio gave us 638. I told you that would fall straight, I do believe. And they gave you that 8524. I gave you that as a number one number, I do believe. Georgia gave us 038 220. And I told you 636 would fall over and over and over again. 8950. I told you that would fall. If I'm not mistaken, I promised that one. Michigan gave us your 641. I told you 102 would fall over and over and over again. Your 6773, I do believe we missed that by one day. But if you did your due diligence and went to the last day, which yesterday was the last day, the 18th, you would have won on that 6773. Okay, and your Florida did the same thing. As I said, the numbers I give you over and over and over again because numbers don't lie. Many of you think that they are. North Carolina, $378, your 5588. I told you that number was going to keep falling over and over and over again, but nobody seems to believe me. Told you that 144 was going to keep falling. Nobody seems to believe me. 9987, I told you would fall. 9987. New Jersey. 195. And gave you that 721. Told you that number would keep falling over and over and over again. I also told you 2204 was a very hot item. Who believed me? Iowa. 195. 818. You got 039, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that 039 was going to blow your mind. How many people believe me? Told you to watch out for your 8297. That's a Michigan number. Ladies and gentlemen, Indiana. They gave you 577. They gave you 445. They gave you 3571. They gave you 0057. Kentucky. They gave you 181. They gave you 550. I told you to watch out for the 550. Who believed me? They gave you 8466. They gave you 0938. Who believed me? Your Delaware. They gave you 887 and you gave you 397. I told you that number would keep falling over and over and over again. They gave you 4058 and they also gave you 0313. I told you that number would fall over and over and over again. Missouri. Missouri gave you what I told you would keep happening over and over and over again. Virginia. $494. I told you that my numbers are not ordinary numbers. Who's believing that my numbers are not ordinary numbers by now? Who is I that's what I want to know. Those are the people that I want to connect with. I told you 102 would fall over and over and over again. Some people have catched on and they're really doing well, and then others they're just stuck. 5158 because they don't want to follow my simple winning instructions. I tell you, if you can't stick with the first two, don't send me no money. If you can't play the first one, don't send me no money. If you can't identify or recognize what fire is, don't send me no money. DC, ladies and gentlemen, your DC, Washington, DC. Washington, D.C. gave you your 241. They gave you your 280. And they gave you 423. I told you yesterday 423 would fall. They gave you 0601. And I told you this number would fall over and over and over again. And all you had to do was just believe me. 9701. New York, ladies and gentlemen, New York. I hear a lot of people screaming about New York, but they won't pay attention. They want me to do New York, and I told you New York is already done. When I do those seven catalyst states, they tell me what I'm going to see in New York. Zero. I told you about that 630. They give you 2770, and I told you about 5712. Yo, New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, yo, New Mexico, yo, New Mexico, New Mexico. Watch out for 517 in New Mexico. It went to New York. They give you 625. And how many people know that I don't give ordinary numbers? And you're 345. You got your 4473 and your 3073. South Carolina, 016. Zero 16 and 908 and 7450. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can get started here. Here we go. I'm going to take you into the Discord where only the privileged get a chance to see this real time. I'll try to blow the screen up so you can see it a lot better. That should be pretty good right there. Let me get my red pen ready and my highlighter because we are going for your number ones. I'm trying to convince people that numbers don't lie. Once you realize that numbers don't lie, that's when you can capitalize and win every single day, multiple times each day. Until then, you're not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, your 9987, just pay very close attention. I said it would manifest between the dates 8/14 and 8/20, guaranteeing it would go to North Carolina. North Carolina got 9987. Ladies and gentlemen, the only number on fire, I said you would see it between the dates 8/16 and 8/23, guaranteeing you would see it in North Carolina. 144 on that promise. Only number on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for your 524. That's a Florida number. You'll see 920. You'll see 420. You'll see 780. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to watch out for 489. Extremely strong 489. You will see 829. Extremely strong 829. 003 is on fire. And 911 is the very last number you see. So when I say that a number is extremely strong, that means no matter what. If I say no matter what, you should believe in the promise. That's all I can say because they want to ban me. They want to get rid of me. I'm trying to make it where I can still be around and people can benefit from what you see me doing every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, number one number. I told you to focus on my top five three digits, which I promise the top two will manifest 814 to 820. I also guaranteed you would see it in Florida. Number one number. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 3210-8675-8210. You will see. I need you to watch out for 3260, extremely strong. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 685 deuce. 685 deuce is North Carolina, Florida, and Ohio, and Tennessee. 2 states before, 2 states after. Those numbers are by way of Florida. These are Georgia numbers. Georgia 72619850. Know that you will see that in Georgia. You're going to see 9186 and 7643. That's Missouri and Michigan. 2 states before, 2 states after. Mm, 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 mm. 8094, Kentucky. Write that down. These numbers are by way of Florida. Here we have Georgia, 9849. You will see 7164. Number one number. Number one number. I tell you every single day, I'm not going to change. Focus on my top five four digits. Once you get that in your head, you won't go any further. Okay? Which I promise the top two. Number one is the winner. If I'm promising the top two and you are not doing your due diligence, then something is wrong with you, not with me. I said this number will, not may, not might, or I think. I don't do that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it will manifest from 815 to 821. I also guaranteed its appearance in Georgia. 9850 dropped in Georgia as 8950, your number one combination, which I promised you would win if you believed. If you don't believe, you need to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, 5170, triple dollar signed it. I said, I promise triple dollar signs will manifest between 812 and 818. I met my deadline on that prediction. Ladies and gentlemen, I also guaranteed you would see it in Georgia. 1075 dropped in Georgia on my command, which I promised it would happen, but nobody's listening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so your 636, let's go find 636 here. Your 636 right here. Your 636 told us, look, 127, make it the number one number. Do you see that? Do you see that? I know you've seen it. 636 right there, right? Look, boom, boom, boom. Number one number. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you see this. Number one number. But you see too many numbers. You're looking right past the number one number. You see too many numbers. You're looking right past the number one combination. 096, ladies and gentlemen, you will see. I'm telling you to watch out for 815 and 094. 612, no matter what. 341, no matter what. 636 on fire, 144. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's go check it out one time. Let's check it out one time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go see where 636 is. 636 in Georgia. And they told us they would give us 144. Boom, boom, boom. 144 straight. 636. Thank you, 636. Okay, moving right along. Of course, we nailed 636 straight. Numbers don't lie. I need you to watch out for 094, huge big money pattern. 812, another huge big money pattern. Watching out for 095, you will see that combination, and 90 deuce. Your 90 deuce is extremely strong. That is the sum of 11, 2, and 20. Write that down. 913, you will see 913 is extremely strong. 430, you will see 430 is extremely strong. 119, you will see over and over and over again, you will see those combinations. Also, your 7 deuce deuce, very last number you see is a strategic formula. 7 deuce deuce showed up and showed out, straight and promised. Ladies and gentlemen, I guaranteed your 128 would roll out for you. They dropped it as 812. Pay close attention to the verbiage. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on the top 5 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. Do you see the detail? Okay, I said they would manifest on 818. There was no weight on that investment. I also guaranteed the number three number. Ladies and gentlemen, one, two, three. I guaranteed the number three number would roll out in Texas. But who's believing me? 5610 5559 7864. You will see. Ladies and gentlemen, 7860 is extremely strong. Look for that in Michigan. Look for that in Ohio. Look for that in Puerto Rico. Okay, 4,000, you will see. 5444, you will see. 6955, you will see. 7864, you will see. Extremely strong combination, 7864. You will see that in Texas. You will see that in Puerto Rico. Two states before, two states after. 1376, you'll see in Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch out for 8524. Your 8524 is Ohio. 4973 will be rolling out right after that. You're going to see 3367 also. Watch out for 3019, no matter what. You'll see that in Kentucky. You'll see that in Delaware. You'll see that in Virginia. Two states before, two states after. Don't leave out DC when you do that. So your 8524 right here told us we're going to see 3367. Told us we're going to see 7736. Do you see this right here, ladies and gentlemen? 7736. Watch out for 3697. Watch out for 3697. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. I'm proving it every single day. I don't know what numbers y'all talking to, but I'm proving it every single day that my numbers don't lie. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one number. Focus on my top five, I tell you, which I promised the top two will manifest. From 815 to 821, I also guaranteed you would see it in Ohio. Let's go to Ohio. They dropped 8524, your number one prediction. But I see too many numbers. Seven numbers. Seven numbers. Seven numbers is $7. Break it in half is $3.50. But seven numbers is too many. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see 665881. That 881 is a Iowa hookup. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 847 over and over and over again. Look for that in Pennsylvania. Two states before, two states after. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 638. Your 638 will be in Ohio. Watch out for 458, Pennsylvania, Indiana. You're going to see 65 deuce. Your 65 deuce, I guaranteed it went to New Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see 723 over and over and over again. Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. You're watching out for 632. 632 is extremely strong. Look for that in New Mexico. You'll see it in Ohio. Two states before, two states after. Don't leave out DC and New York. Those numbers are by way of Ohio, 2 states before, 2 states after. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, boom, numbers don't lie. Number one number. And I'm going through a lot of changes to make sure that I'm doing this right. And people are still not picking up on what I'm doing. Ladies and gentlemen, they will put a stop to that number one number. I'm telling you, if I'm telling you to play the number one number and you're just saying, fuck that number one number, you're going to play what you want to play, then it's on you. Ladies and gentlemen, 638. They drop 638 on that promise. I promised the number one number would fall straight. Number one number gets highlighted in yellow for people who say there's too many numbers. Remember, you're not gambling, it's investing. You're investing in yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 300. You will see 716. You will see 760. You will see 102. This is coming from 102. Again, you're going to see 102. This is coming from your Michigan evening. 102 there. And 102 in Virginia straight. Number one number. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see 871, 854. You're going to see 951. Watch out for these combinations. Your 951 is New Jersey. And let's go check out your 630 just real quick, just to see what we got for you. Just to see what we got for you, because that number just keeps sticking out. And if a number sticks out, it's vibrating high. Mm-mm-mm. 818, boom, boom, boom. Yesterday was 818. I met my deadline on 630 straight. 630. Now we want to find it promised. But I'm not going to look for that right now. I am going to go back into what we were doing. And we are at your 021, your 102. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you would see that number as the number one position. How many people are believing in me yet? Ladies and gentlemen, 102. Okay, there you have it right there, promised. I said you would see it between 813 and 819 in Michigan, number one combination. Then I said, look, I guaranteed you would see that shit straight, but ain't nobody listening to you, Mr. Bascomb. No matter how good you get, the vibration is just too strong, and only people who are vibrating like myself will catch on to these. Ladies and gentlemen, if you notice, the 6773. 6773. Do you see 6773? Do you see right here? 6773. That means that 6773 did not lie, right? It said go with 8253. It said go with 9173. It said go with 5574. It said go with 5421. Ladies and gentlemen, check out what's on fire. On fire. 2398 on fire. 8254. 8254. 8254. Boom, 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 boom. Right there on fire. Only numbers on fire will do what you're supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, 2974. You're going to see that in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, 7142, Missouri. 7444. You're going to see that in Missouri, also Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Florida. Watching out for 74 deuce deuce. Look for that in New Jersey. Look for that in Missouri. You're going to see 7094. Your 7094 is DC. Also Puerto Rico. Don't leave out Puerto Rico. Watch out for 7984. Only combination on fire. Your 7442 is protecting all of the numbers that I just called out. So that's an underdog. That means that hardly anybody will be making wagers on that combination. You would do well to include that combination. Three, 6, 8, 5. I promised 3, 6, 8, 5 would fall straight. Y'all better leave me alone, boy. Who else do you know doing this on this plane of existence? Straight, ladies and gentlemen, straight. I promised it would fall straight on yesterday's date in Tennessee. But ain't nobody listening to you, Mr. Bascomb. You got 114277. Two seven seven Indiana, 277 Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey. You're watching out for 587. You're watching out for 859. Those are no matter what. Nine oh six 250. You should already know you're going to see the 250. And 548 and 610. 548 and 610. Your 548 is extremely strong for New Mexico and Florida. 2 states before, 2 states after. Don't leave out Puerto Rico. Those numbers are by way of Tennessee. There's your 052, ladies and gentlemen. Your 052. I promised that number would fall, and then I guaranteed it would fall straight. You got 558 and 559. You need to watch out for these combinations. You'll see them in Kentucky. I need you to watch out for 728, extremely strong 728. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 076. How many times do I got to call out that combination before you believe me? You're going to see 209. I've called that out several times. 378, ladies and gentlemen, your 378 is extremely strong for North Carolina. You will see 102. I told you 102. Numbers don't lie. I told you 256. 256 dropped in New Mexico. Numbers don't lie. There's your 378. I promised it would fall. 378 fell straight in North Carolina on that promise. Who's believing in the promises yet? Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see 8558 and 5885, 8976. You'll see 6677, 4697, 9760. You will see. Look for that in Puerto Rico. Look for that in Ohio and Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 7643 over and over and over again. Watch for that number in Missouri. And there is your 4697. I want you to be aware that you can see that combination rolling out. And you have your 6677. Extremely strong combination double double. Congratulations, DeMarco. 818, ladies and gentlemen. 818, 818, 818. I promised that number would fall straight. It did. Watch out for 727. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 727 make its debut. Look for that number in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey. You're going to see 451 over and over and over again. Your 451 is a Michigan hookup. Your 451 is Indiana. 451 is South Carolina. Watch out for 451. You are going to see 732. 732 is Missouri. 732, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. Those numbers are by way of Florida, ladies and gentlemen. I promised 903 would fall yesterday. 903 fell a few times. Look at this, straight on a promise. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? 903 right there. Zero 039 right here. Watch out for 043. Watch out for 176. You will see these combinations. I'm telling you to watch out for 312. Watch out for 402. Your 402, I do believe it made its debut. 402. This is coming from Ohio. And boom, boom, boom. As you can see, numbers don't lie. Watch out for the 036. There's your 036 right down here. Watch out for your 254. Now it's starting to sing that song that I told you that I hear. 254. Where did they drop your 254? They're dropping all the same numbers off of the same damn prediction. But ain't nobody listening to you, Mr. Bascomb. There's your 024. Number one number. Number one number. Number one number, ladies and gentlemen, your number one number, your number one number, boom, boom, boom. Look at that right there, ladies and gentlemen, 402. 402. Look at that, straight. But ain't nobody listening. Nobody's listening. 8591, you will see. Look for that in Virginia. Look for that in Pennsylvania. 2 states before, 2 states after. Don't leave out Virginia. Virginia is heavy on that. You're going to see 0706, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio. 9821, 9820, you will see. You're also going to see 98 deuce deuce. Look for that in New Jersey. 8594, you will see. That's extremely strong. 8594, look for that in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. 2 states before, 2 states after, also Tennessee. 0498 is your only combination on fire. Watch out for your 8599 in North Carolina. These numbers are by way of Ohio. Watch out for 9361, 9561. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 2187. You will see 0287 in Michigan. You're going to see 9143, 8791, and 2187. These numbers are by way of Michigan, 2 states before, 2 states after. I promised the 2708 and the 8720 combination would roll out in Michigan yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, I could have very well put that in the number one position, but I knew that I was promising it anyway, but I got a little lazy. Ladies and gentlemen, you're 614. You're 614. I told you 614 was extremely strong. Who believed me? 641 dropped in the number one position. I told you would see it between 813 and 819. There you have it right there, ladies and gentlemen. 641. I promised it would fall straight. Who's listening now? Ladies and gentlemen, there it is right there. Number one number. Promised straight. But ain't nobody paying attention. 5 deuce, you will see, ladies and gentlemen, you will see 011. You will see 986. 986 is extremely strong. You're going to see 740, sum of 11, 2, and 20. It is a no matter what triple dollar sign combination. 590, you will see, ladies and gentlemen, and 641, you will see. 263, you will see, and 790, you will see. Those are by way of Michigan. 5 deuce, you will see 011, 986, 740, 590, 641, 263, 790. There's your 911, your 889. 889 is a Delaware hookup. Write that down. Your 470 is extremely strong. You should be able to ascertain that by now. Look for that one in Georgia. 792, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania. Your 128. I told you that number was a great combination to roll with. It fell in Texas. Watch it go back to Texas. 2 states before Texas, 2 states after Texas. 317, you will see. 307, you will see. And your 470, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your 830, number one combination. So let's hear it for that number one combination, ladies and gentlemen. I am not playing around with that number one combination. I told you, focus on the top 5 3 digits, which I promised the top two. The number one number is like your best combination. I told you it would manifest between 814 and 820. I told you I also guarantee you would see it in Georgia. I told you these things. You get 8632. You will see. Look for that number in New Jersey. Also Pennsylvania. 2 states before, 2 states after. Don't leave out Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 8690 over and over and over again. Kentucky. You'll see it in D.C. Heavy in D.C. Watching out for 7514 and 7451 Georgia. 6232, you will see. Ladies and gentlemen, 3260. Huge big money pattern. That number will be making its debut today. Watch out for 2336 and 9344. Extremely strong combination. Your 6236 is your only combination on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that right there with your own eyes. I promise this combination would show up and show out for my VIP. Who's paying attention now? 8372, you will see. 8372, 8372, 8372 Iowa, 8372 Pennsylvania. 8372, Michigan. 2 states before, 2 states after. Don't leave out Puerto Rico. You're going to see 9873. Look for that number in North Carolina, Iowa, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 6455 over and over and over again in Texas. 7321, 7322. 7322 is a Missouri hookup. Make sure you write that down. You'll see it in Puerto Rico. Also, Pennsylvania. 2 states before, 2 states after. You're going to see 0132 and 8372. You will see these combinations. Congratulations, Big Money West. You don't miss. You pay very close attention to what I'm laying out here. 899 and 77 deuce. You will see these combinations. 239 and 53, nope, 503 and 530. 249, 134. You're going to see these combinations. Ladies and gentlemen, 567 and 268. You will see these numbers roll out for you. Those are Texas. There's your number one number, 413. Number one number. Number one number. Number one number. So again, you hear me saying invest in the top two, but I'm showing you clearly where you can get away with doing just the number one number. 266-833, you will see 053, you will see. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 849, that's Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 086, Tennessee, 842, Pennsylvania, and DC. 891, you will see, and also 953, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. Those are Tennessee. There's your 068. Guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. $6287, you will see. Watch out for that combination in Iowa. You'll see it in Michigan, and you'll see it in Puerto Rico. 2 states before, 2 states after. 5426 3901. You will see. Ladies and gentlemen, you're also going to see 2425. You're also going to see 7278. That's a New York combination. Watching out for 8274, Missouri. 0193. How many people see a 5-year-old can pick out that 0193? Only number on fire promised for yesterday. And boom, boom, boom. You got 5238, ladies and gentlemen. Your 5238 is extremely strong. Your 5238, you will see in Delaware. 5238, New Jersey. And also Ohio. 2 states before, 2 states after. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1970. I told you you would see this combination. Number one number. Number one number. Number one number. Number one number. And if you believe in moving my numbers 4 times, if you see me provide a number with a 1 or a 0, if you move it 4 times, you get it straight. Otherwise, you need to box it straight. But you can't get away from that number one number making you money. All right, you got 8243. How many times I got to give you that combination before you believe it's going to happen? 8686. You get 8564. You're going to see these combinations, ladies and gentlemen. Look for the 8564 in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, your 8564 did show up and show out in Tennessee. Boom, boom, boom. Watching out for 856 deuce. Your 856 deuce is extremely strong. Look for that number in Tennessee, Texas. You will see it in Ohio, Georgia, Michigan, Florida, also North Carolina. 9071, ladies and gentlemen, the number one number was promised. It's going to keep falling, like I said, but if you're not believing me, you're not going to receive it. Look at this right here, ladies and gentlemen. You're 336. I told you 336 was extremely strong. I triple dollar signed it as proof that I promised you would see it. 822, 633 on fire, 246 and 236. Those are no matter what. 284, you will see. You're going to see 183. You're going to see 176, and you're going to see 142 over and over and over again. Those numbers are by way of North Carolina. There is your 633, 633 straight, 911, 226, 253, 475. Your 253, ladies and gentlemen, I promised that number would show up and show out. It did in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. Watch out for 587, 951. I told you about that 951, but who believed me? Let's see here. 951 New Jersey. Promised. You're watching out for 816 and 206. There's your 785, number one number, promised. There's your 587, promise kept straight, triple dollar signed it as proof. I knew it was going to fall that way. There's your 587, guaranteed to fall straight. Y'all better leave me alone. You got 2673 1692. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see 1241 5983. Your 5983 is New Jersey. Your 5983 is Ohio. Your 5983 is Tennessee. Two states before, two states after. Don't leave out Kentucky. You will see 1240, 1293, 1241. These numbers are by way of Florida. As you can see, the 3985. Number one number. I'm telling y'all better leave me alone. Let me go ahead and quit right now because I can sense that there's a lot of people still not listening, paying attention, definitely not following winning instructions. 726514345431089 deuce. Ladies and gentlemen, we go for guaranteed, we go for promises, we go for straight, and we go for that number one combination. All right, so before I get started, let's go over a few of these real quickly. And we will start off easy ones. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, 7640-4670 combination. I promised you would see that number. Again, move my zero, you get this straight. If you don't feel like moving the zero, all you have to do is box it straight. Okay, let's go check out Let's go check out. Only number on fire, ladies and gentlemen, only number on fire. Do you see that? The only number on fire. I said it would fall. What do you see? Between the 17th and the 23rd. Boom, boom, boom. Only number on fire. A 5-year-old can hit that. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, 3572. 3572 fell straight for your boy. Hmm. Okay. I guarantee 9830 combination would fall. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap this up real quick. Let's do one more. Three days ago, I promised your 405E combination would fall. Okay, let's tally up all of these numbers that are guaranteed. Oh, hold on one second. We'll see here. We got that 5345. Where is that at? It's up here somewhere. Your 534. Let's take a look at that real quick. 534, ladies and gentlemen. 534. I promised that number would fall by the 19th. You got 534 right here. You got 534 down here. Okay, I am going to do one more. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. All right, let's go ahead and tally these up. But I want you to see how much time and energy actually goes into putting these predictions together and placing them on this Discord channel and then placing them onto a website. Ladies and gentlemen, 42. That's 42. 42. And actually, this would be 43. And let me see. Uh, 5885 and 8558. I promised you would see that number show back up. And I told you 2 states before, 2 states after. I am not a liar. Numbers do not lie. Why you won't get that through your head, I don't know. Okay, so again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 44 accurate predictions that I said would fall on 8/18, ladies and gentlemen. I promised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 of the 44 numbers that I guaranteed, I promised. How many of these numbers did I say would fall straight, ladies and gentlemen? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 numbers I declared and decreed they would fall straight, ladies and gentlemen. Out of those 16 numbers, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the 16 I promised would fall straight. That means four of those numbers were guaranteed. Your number one number, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 numbers I put in the number one position for those who are on a budget or for those who say that they still don't understand. There's nothing to understand, there's nothing to figure out. All you have to do is invest in what I am telling you to invest in. Nothing to work out, nothing to figure out. I've done all of that for you. Okay, I'm going to give you a little hookup here. This is good for all states. The dates are 0819 0825. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see 4427. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see 3225. Ladies and gentlemen, 4647. Ladies and gentlemen, 2353. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it in a nutshell. I love you all. I will see you all at the winner's table, no matter what. Abundant prosperity in health and in wealth to all who follow me and believe in the hard work that you see me accomplishing every single day. If you are interested in joining my VIP and you can follow simple winning instructions without asking me what numbers to play when you see me every day telling you what to do, then by all means, you can go straight to dynamicpredictions.onrender.com. Pick a package. Any package you pick, I will give you 7 free days. That's how much I believe in myself. Okay? I will give you 7 free days. Once you purchase that package from here, send your receipt to dynamicallydriven@gmail.com. And because I'm having such difficulty on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, for those who purchased a subscription for my TikTok, I want you to send me a email showing me the receipt for that subscription, and I am now giving 7 free days for anybody that purchased anything from me on TikTok as a sub. So that way we're square. And that 1 week is worth $80. So you're getting 1 week of my services, and you see what 1 day can do. 1 day you can hit 44 times guaranteed. 1 day you can land 33 on promises. You can hit 16 straight times. You can do just the number one number and hit 14 times. You can do just the number one number, ladies and gentlemen, and you can get at least 12 promise hits for guaranteed. Again, those are my all-state hookups right there. I will see you all at the winners table. I am still working on the investment part of my platform. It's going to be a little difficult, but as soon as I get it together, I will inform you. And I do have those people who have been inquiring. I got a list of your names and emails to let you know as soon as it's up and running. And what I will be offering is the whole package for all of the promise numbers, and I'll be doing a whole package for the number one numbers, I do believe. Number one, yeah, number one and possibly number two. I think I'm going to do one with number one in the fires. So you'll be able to pick. And I am going to run these for at least 3 drawings on a minimum until we can build up a bankroll to cover them for more days. Because the more days that you cover it, if you cover a number for the amount of days that it says on the prediction, you're going to hit that number several times. Why? The numbers keep falling over and over and over and over again, but nobody's listening to me. Everybody wants to complain that that number just fell and they don't want to play it. But I told you that the number told me, hey, I'm coming back with a vengeance. I even tell you how it's going to fall, and then you don't listen. So something's wrong with you. I wish you would just leave. That's all I wish for you. Don't wish no harm. Don't wish no hate. I just wish you would just leave me alone because this is not for you. But for those who can see it like a child, a 5-year old can pick out fire. A 5-year old can pick out the number one and number two number. I'm pretty sure a 5-year old can pick out triple dollar signs, but that's another day. Those triple dollar signs are for like my Jamaican friends. There's people who actually want to win 44 times. There's people that actually want to win 33 times. They don't want to just hit one time. They want to hit every number that I can possibly give them. And I'm doing it every single day without fail. You're looking at a progress report, my own progress report that shows you how well I can predict and forecast a number to show up and show out for my VIP, that is. Again, I will see you all at the winner's table, no matter what. It is 8:58. I will see you at 10:30 with the goods for Tennessee.